Good morning, and thank you, Tricia, pastors, the parish conference, and all of you here for a few minutes to share an update about the landing today. I don't think I'm alone in admitting I've pretty much lost all sense of time, so I don't know exactly how long it's been since I stood here before you and shared a vision for creating a shelter as part of FUMC's next big thing. It's been a minute for sure, and COVID has given us a long, hard run for our money, but we have persevered, and as you've heard this morning, the PSU Landing at FUMC has been open and housing Portland State University students since the fall. Last evening, 4 Portland State University students entered the landing, had a safe and secure place to relax, to study, and most importantly, to sleep. And then this morning, they left the landing to start their day. So goes a day in the life, or perhaps a night in the life of the landing. The importance and value of the landing to those 4 students last night is enormous. But I would also like to share a little bit more about the broader impact the landing has had so far. As part of an update like this, one would expect to hear how many students have stayed at the landing so far. And since opening last fall, we have housed this many students. You can count them if you'd like, but I'd also like you to see them as individuals, individual human beings with individual needs and individual aspirations. Not too long ago, each of these people found themselves in dire housing situations, so much so that they were willing to reach out for help. By doing so, each found a safe and secure place to stay at the landing and allowed them to continue their studies at Portland State. Another piece of information you may expect to hear about is what happened to the students after they became residents of the landing. Through the strong partnership between the landing and Portland State and the coordinated support services we were able to provide, here are the individuals who were able to move out of the landing and into long-term affordable housing since fall term. To elaborate on this a little bit more, one measure of the landing's, quote, success is our ability to help residents transition to long-term affordable housing. Over half of the residents have done that already. The other strategy for success is to support the residents' transition out of the landing when they eventually graduate. And we currently have 1 resident on track to graduate at the end of this academic term by summer. That will bump our transition rate to 2 out of 3 residents, either moving to affordable housing or graduating. Now, this project was supposed to be a big thing, and I may be a little biased, but to me this is a pretty big thing. Frankly, I could end the presentation right here and feel extremely blessed and proud of what we all have been able to do for and alongside these students. Well, but I would also like to help you see a couple of the other less visible but very important impacts of the landing. What might not be as obvious or visible with this project is the extent to which the landing is very much a community-based and community-driven effort with far-reaching impact. FUMC has a very strong formal partnership with PSU for this project and has resulted in diverse connections across campus, our congregation, and other communities. This active collaboration and the sheer fact that the landing is operational has an enormous ripple effect on raising awareness about college student housing insecurity. The landing is a living model for raising awareness around the student housing insecurity issues, and raising awareness is essential for impacting change on a much larger scale. Here are just a couple abbreviated but important examples of where that awareness-raising impact can be seen if we shine a light on them. First, this impact is seen through the number, there's over 100 individuals represented on this slide, a number of PSU students on campus who have had a direct connection to the landing either through a number of PSU classes and class project work or through students volunteering their time in a variety of ways at the landing. Second, Michelle Harris is a graduate student at PSU and volunteers her time as our landing intern. Michelle has been very active these last few months in a landing and housing insecurity awareness raising campaign on campus. She has given many group presentations, distributed flyers, and used other forms of communication to contact 45 campus departments and offices, reaching more than 1,300 professors, staff, and students. I could go on and on about how the landing has directly impacted the residents' lives, or about how students working on class projects have shaped the landing experience for the residents, or about how some PSU professors have changed the way they teach and frankly care more about their students' well-being outside of the classroom. But I'm about at time. To learn more, please visit with the folks outside in the narthex after the service. Lastly, as long as the landing doors are open, it will continue to have a huge impact on the student residents who find safe rest here for sure. But I sincerely hope these brief words have also highlighted how the impact of the landing ripples far beyond these walls and has a significant positive impact on many lives across our community. Thank you very much for your time, your prayers, and support. Thank you.
Good morning, friends. I'm Paul Cosgrove, Chair of your Finance and Stewardship Committee. The PSU Landing at FUMC was one of the community service ministries that came out of our Next Big Thing process. As the creator and long-term host of the Goose Hollow Family Shelter, which had outgrown us, we were left with a wonderful facility to help houseless persons. And our congregation enthusiastically decided to use that facility to help houseless college students. Many donated generously to start the landing, and the Joint City-County Office of Homeless Services gave some temporary funding. But it's time to ask for your generous contributions again to keep the program operating after current funding runs out June 30. Please consider a generous gift, and thank you.